Welcome back to Car Show 1, where we don't just review cars, we tell their stories. Stories of innovation, rebellion, beauty, and sometimes quiet revolutions that change the world without ever asking for the spotlight. This channel is built for the purists, the enthusiasts, and anyone who knows that a car can be far more than just transportation. So if you're new here, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because today we're going deep into the story of a humble sedan that went from commuter car to cult legend. This is the tale of the 1967 Datsun 510, the Japanese sports sedan that punched way above its weight and earned its place in automotive history. The 1960s were a transformative time in the car world. In America, the streets were dominated by muscle cars and V8 rumble. In Europe, compact sedans and nimble sports cars from BMW, Alfa Romeo, and Lotus reigned supreme. Japan, on the other hand, was still quietly finding its footing in the global auto market. Most consumers didn't take Japanese brands seriously yet. They were cheap, reliable, and small, perfect for city driving, but no threat to Western performance icons. And then came the 1967 Datsun 510. This wasn't just a fluke or lucky accident. Nissan, the parent company behind Datsun, had a strategy. And leading that charge was Yutaka Katayama, Mr. K, the same visionary who later helped bring the Fairlady Z to the US. He wanted to shake things up. He wanted to create a compact sedan that could compete head-on with the best from Europe, something affordable, stylish, reliable, and most importantly, fun to drive. His target, the BMW 1600. On paper, the Datsun 510 didn't seem revolutionary. It was a small four-door sedan, powered by a modest 1.6-liter inline-4 engine. But what made it different was the engineering. Nissan borrowed from its Prince Motor Company merger and gave the 510 a fully independent rear suspension, a rarity for sedans in this price range. Most competitors were still using live rear axles. This one detail would become the secret weapon that turned the 510 from commuter car into a backroad beast. The engine, designated the L16, was a gem in its own right. Borrowed from the Datsun Bluebird SSS and tweaked for the 510, it produced around 96 horsepower, not a huge number, but the car weighed just over 2,000 pounds. That meant it was nimble, responsive, and quick for its time. Mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, the 510 wasn't just capable, it was genuinely fun. But the magic of the 510 went beyond the specs. It was in the way the car responded to you. Turn the wheel and it reacted instantly. Downshift and the engine climbed eagerly through the revs. The suspension soaked up imperfections without ever feeling soft. And when you really pushed it, on a winding road or on the track, it danced. It was a car that made even an ordinary driver feel like a hero. And that's where the legend really began, on the racetrack. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, Datsun sent the 510 into battle in SCCA racing. It was an underdog, going up against Alfa Romeos, BMWs, and Fiats. But under the guidance of the legendary Peter Brock and his Brie racing team, Brock Racing Enterprises, the Datsun 510 stunned the motorsports world. With driver John Morden behind the wheel, the BRE 510 won back-to-back SCCA Trans Am championships in 1971 and 1972. Suddenly, this little Japanese sedan wasn't just good, it was dominant. Fans started calling it the poor man's BMW. It had the same balance, the same athleticism, but it cost a fraction of the price. And unlike some of its European rivals, the 510 didn't overheat. It didn't leak. It started every morning. It was as tough as it was fast. In 1967, when the first 510s rolled off the line in Japan, few could have predicted what this car would become. But over the next few years, it would earn respect around the world. In Australia and New Zealand, it became a favorite in rallying. In Africa, it survived brutal rally raids. In the US, it created a new generation of import tuners. And in Japan, it was the first step in Nissan's journey toward global performance credibility. What made the Datsun 510 truly special was that it was for everyone. It wasn't an exotic you only saw in magazines. It wasn't something only the wealthy could afford. It was practical. You could buy one as a family car, commute to work during the week, and race it on weekends. It was a platform, strong, simple, tunable, and full of potential. As the years passed, the 510 became a favorite among garage builders and grassroots racers. With its robust engine, rear-wheel drive layout, and ample aftermarket support, the car became a blank canvas for enthusiasts. Turbo swaps, coilover kits, flared fenders, Weber carb conversions, the 510 scene exploded. And even today, in drift circles and vintage racing, the 510 still shows up, ready to fight. And here's what's really beautiful. Even though the Datsun 510 came from humble beginnings, it never tried to be something it wasn't. It never wore fake luxury or borrowed identity. It was honest, designed with purpose, built with pride, and driven with heart. By the time the 510 left production in the early 1970s, it had made its mark. Over 500,000 units were sold globally. And it did something more powerful than just move metal, it changed perceptions. It told the world that Japan could build not just reliable cars, but exciting cars. Cars that stirred emotion, cars that could win, and that impact echoes to this day. The 510 paved the way for everything that came after, the Z, the Skyline, the Silvia, and more. It was the seed that grew into a tree of automotive excellence. If you look at any great Japanese performance car, from the A86 to the WRX, the DNA of the 510 is in there. A focus on balance, a commitment to engineering, a love for driving. Today, finding a clean 1967 Datsun 510 is a challenge. Many have been raced, modified, or rusted away, but those that remain are cherished. They're part of a rare club, not just because they're old or rare, but because they represent something truly special, a turning point. A car that arrived quietly, worked hard, proved itself, and earned its crown. And when you see one on the road, that boxy shape, those round headlights, the unmistakable Datsun badge, it's like seeing a piece of history, still alive and moving. A reminder of what can happen when great engineering meets real passion. Thank you for joining us here at Car Show 1. If you love this tribute to the legendary 1967 Datsun 510, hit that like button, drop a comment telling us your favorite Datsun memory, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. Whether it's a track beast or a backstreet hero, we're here to celebrate the cars that mattered, and still do. Until next time, keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and your heart in the drive.